My husband wants me to reload so we can have a third kid, but since he doesn't pull his weight in this family, I told him I'm done playing the role of a single mom and our marriage is on the ropes. So, my husband, 42 meters, and I, 31 feet, have been married for 12 years. We have 2 kids, 8 meters and 4 feet. Our marriage is not great. His mother and sister often give unsolicited advice on my parenting, our marriage, and life in general. It has gotten better in the last few months since I sat down with my husband. Multiple times, we talked, and this time he listened, so they backed off. Not completely, but it's better. In the last few weeks, my husband has started mentioning having a third child, which fills me with dread. I love children, and I've always wanted a big family, but it would be too much. I cook, clean, take care of the kids, and work part-time from home. He doesn't really help with the house, which I'm fine with, nor with the kids, which is a problem. I changed all the diapers, woke up at night, I take care of fevers, doctor appointments, school, playdates, everything. The mere thought of going through another pregnancy and then taking care of a baby makes me want to cry. I know I would have to do it all practically alone because my husband provides, and women have been doing it for centuries. I should pull my weight and not be spoiled. It all culminated last night. After another one of his "I take great care of you and the kids, and we should have a third" monologues, I snapped. I told him that he really doesn't. The kids barely know him. When he comes home from work, he doesn't pay attention to them, except to snap at our daughter when she's too loud. He doesn't know anything about our days because he doesn't ask, and I stopped telling him because he wasn't listening anyway. He is not a great father nor husband as he likes to preach, and I have no desire to be a single mom of a third child. 2 are quite enough, thank you. He stared at me dumbfounded, then called me a C-word, delusional, and ungrateful before storming out to his mother's house. Relevant comments. Comment 1. Definitely not in the wrong. I do wonder why you stay with him though. I saw this a while back, and honestly, the person who wrote it was correct. What was the biggest shock when you became a lone parent after splitting with your partner? My kids were 3, 6, 9, and 40. Once the 40-year-old moved out, my workload lightened so much it was stunning. Sure, there were fewer dishes and laundry and general mess around the house, but the real workload, telling him what he needed to do, following behind him, and then doing it myself anyway, just vanished. Poof. I didn't have to check if he picked up the right kid at the right time. I didn't have to argue over who would stay home with a sick child. I didn't have to remember birthdays and anniversaries on his calendar. All I had to do was everything I had done all along by myself. The biggest change was my mood. I wasn't resentful or angry or making excuses for him anymore. I was just doing what needed to be done without all the extra baggage of trying to teach someone to be an adult or coach a fully grown man into how to take care of things that had to be done to raise a family. The most amazing thing? Every other weekend. I swear to God, I hadn't had 2 days to do whatever I felt like doing, maybe in my life. Definitely not in 10 years or so. No worries. No listening for crashes or screams. No checking on kids every 10 minutes or cleaning up spilled paint or limping from hidden Legos in the carpet. 2 whole days. The very first weekend he took the kids, he brought them back early Sunday morning, looking stressed. Did I have any idea? I told him, I might know what that's like. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for over a decade, I knew exactly what it meant to be responsible for little lives and the things they get into. I yeeted that idea straight into the sun, and he did finally learn how to manage 3 kids for 2 days. And I got blissful, guilt-free silence. To have a little slice of life? To do absolutely nothing if I wanted. There wasn't milk left out on the counter. There weren't muddy footprints up the carpeted stairs. There wasn't a leaky ceiling from a tub filled to the brim for ship wars. For 2 days, every 2 weeks. Best thing ever. Comment 2. Well, good for you. Also, I'm pretty sure at 19, getting married to a 30-year-old was a huge red flag. Update. Hello to everyone. I wanted to update since a lot of people were worried about me, and a lot has happened. For those who don't want to read a long post, things turned ugly, but I am safe, and I decided to get a divorce since my husband and I couldn't agree on how a marriage should look. Now, for a long update, the morning after I made this post, my Mill and Sil showed up at my house. At this point, there was still no word from my husband, Ray. It was obvious that they expected me to be alone. My kids were with Bill at my sister's, May, house, and she was with me. So, we all sat down to have a conversation. I know I was being annoying, but I kept repeating that I didn't see the point of this conversation. It should happen between Ray and me. We are grown-ups and married, and I didn't see a reason for them to meddle. They took great offense to that. At one point, my Mill said that she didn't understand what happened to me. I am not the girl her son married anymore. I said, of course, I'm not. He married a teenager, and now I'm a grown woman. She turned beet red and started screaming at me, to which May said she was going to call the police if she didn't calm down. After a few insults, mostly how I'm abusing her son and how bad of a mother I am, they left. Ray showed up a few hours later. Not to ask about our children or see how I am, but to berate me on how I treated his mother. Again, I think May being there changed his plan, since he toned it down when she came downstairs. He demanded that she leave. She refused and said she was going upstairs so we could have a conversation, but she was not going anywhere until I asked her to, which I didn't. He started with basically saying that I am a bad wife, that I don't love him since I don't want more kids, and I blamed him for it. I shouldn't speak to him like that. He is a great father to our kids, etc. I asked, which kids? The kids he hasn't seen in 3 days and didn't ask how or where they are. He then freaked out when I told him they were at Bill and May's house, calling them both foul names that I don't want to repeat. Our conversation lasted an hour, and nothing productive came out of it. We were going in circles. I was scared because he multiple times started grinding his teeth and putting his hands into fists, but he would calm down after a few seconds. I said if he's not willing to work on our marriage and thinks he is completely in the right, we should get a divorce. He, at first, said fine, if that's what I want, I should pack my stuff and leave. I started packing, and he ranted about how I'm going to live without him and how he can't wait for me to explain to the kids why they are moving, and similar. I said the kids are not moving anywhere. They are staying in the house, and whichever parent stays here is taking care of them. He really couldn't comprehend what I was saying. I am not turning our kids' lives upside down. Divorce is enough of a change, they are not going anywhere. Then his tune changed. He was willing to hear me out, and I swear I thought I was going to pop a blood vessel from rage. I said I didn't care anymore, we are getting a divorce. The only questions are about logistics and our kids. To not make this post even longer, this also went in circles. Then, he grabbed my shoulders and started shaking me. May got involved, and they started pushing each other. I called the police. We managed to push him through the door and locked it. He left before the police came. We gave statements, and I stayed at the house. I am fine, but May has a few scratches. Currently, I'm being bombarded with texts from his family, but not a peep from him. I am filing for divorce. I don't know why I thought this could end any differently, but I'm also glad I tried. For people who found my previous posts, I'm ashamed of how I was speaking about May. I was envious until I realized that I was projecting my unhappiness with my life onto her. She didn't deserve it. She was, and still is, an amazing sister and an even better person. Thank you all. I got amazing advice and words of encouragement. The internet can also be full of wonderful people, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you.